tells you to start. There are 3 roles I would like you to be familiar with. The jester, Winifred, and Dauntless. Okay? So, the jester, do we know what a jester is? A clown, the funny one, the one meant to make the royalty laugh. Jester, or jesters, as the case may be, we may actually add, is not a gender-specific role. It is not intended to be either boy or girl. We could end up with a boy and girl, or 2 girls, or just 1 girl, or one. Doesn't matter. Dauntless is the prince. Okay? Dauntless is the prince, and Winifred is our princess. Please be familiar with it. Obviously, if we look around, the females far outnumber the males.
Yeah.
So, in asking you to read a scene, some of the females may be asked to read the part of Dauntless. That doesn't mean, oh, I'm never going to play the princess because he made me read a boy's part. No. I'm looking for what you do when it's your turn to act. Did you make choices? Did you show me, oh wow, what a really talented actor or actress. I think I need to call that person back to see them again. Right? We're not going to have time to let everybody read all 3 parts. There's just not enough time to do that. And truthfully, we don't really need it. Right? When you walk into a restaurant and you see the item you want, you don't need to look at the other pages, do you? You just say, I wanted that for dinner. I'm going to get that. It looks good. They bring the dessert tray out. Sometimes there are 2 or 3 things, but you know what you're going to want. If you show me your talent, it doesn't matter what you read. I've actually held auditions, I've held auditions where the acting portion was read the phone book. Yes, this was back before they, got rid of phone books, but I gave people a phone book, and I said, turn to page, exactly. It had people's numbers. There aren't lines of dialogue in the phone book. There are people's names and addresses and telephone numbers. So you can imagine how interesting it was to see people try to act the phone book. And yet they did. Well, we'll share that another time. Some were very funny, some were not so funny. But it doesn't matter what role you are asked to read. It matters how you read the role. Got it? And I promise that. So please don't be discouraged if when it's that day you're asked to read the jester and you really wanted to read Winifred. Because if you did your job really well and we want to call you back for Winifred, well then at a callback we're going to get to read Winifred. That's a willy will thing to say. Read Winifred. Anyway, if you do your job well, it doesn't matter what's on this page. We're going to want to see more and we'll start to focus in on what that might be. Promise. Promise. There's no pigeonholing, there's no typecasting, there's nothing like that. I'm looking for what you can do. Okay? Yes, sir.
When you get called back, are you going to tell us what we're getting called back for?
Yes. Most likely we will. Some of you may get called back for more than one thing. Some of you may not get called back at all. And I know Michelle said this at that meeting for those who were there, and that's true too. If you do not get called back, that doesn't mean you didn't get that part you wanted. We may have seen enough already. Slam dunk, it's done. Okay? If you do get called back, it doesn't mean that's the part you're going to get. It could mean you were really nervous and you did this, and I was like, God, I think she was really good, but I want to hear some more. So you're going to get called back, and I'm going to say, this time, could you not do this for me? Right? Or maybe you made a really funny choice when you were reading, and I want to hear you read 6,000 different things to see where in our puzzle you are best going to fit. We're not having everybody called back, I don't think, unless you guys all blow me away, and I'm like, oh my God, there's no way I could make a choice. But I wouldn't plan on that. I can't tell you how many people, because it's not a science. There's no actual ooh, I've got to call so many people back, or not so many people back. Okay? And again, a callback is not an indicator of talent. It is not about, ooh, I was really great and I got it, or I wasn't good enough and I didn't get it. It's about, I need to see more to figure out where to put you. Yes?
Okay, when do we find out if we get called back?
You'll find out really soon because auditions are Wednesday and Thursday and the callbacks are Saturday.
So next Friday.
So you'll have to know by Friday, and hopefully we'll be able to get it together enough to a point where we'll be able to send out the stuff so you might get a chance to look at it before. It's not going to be it shouldn't be a surprise, okay? It's not about secret or surprise. It's about, I need to see more. Yes, ma'am?
Do we need to memorize the lines?
No. Don't memorize your lines. Be familiar with it, because again, you don't know which one you're going to have to read. So be familiar with it. Practice all three of them. Okay? You will see on the back page there is like Lady Rowena, Innocently. I've always wanted to play Lady Rowena Innocently, so that will most likely be myself reading that line or somebody else in the audition. You don't have to worry about Lady Rowena's one line.
Adam, that's all yours.
It's all mine? Thank you. You must feel like a fish. Wait, can I do it again? You must feel like a fish out of water. No. What do you mean? I didn't get it? Anyway. But that leads me to my next point. Choices. You're going to hear me talk to you a lot about making choices with your acting. It means I want to see something more than what you are. More than what you are when you walk down the hallway or when you're in class or when you're at home. I want to see you creating characters. These characters are going to be at least slightly different than you would be in real life. Okay? So don't be afraid to make a choice, even a big choice or a bold choice. Because even if that's not the choice that I'd be like, oh, I would never do it that way, at least I'm like, oh, that person's thinking. They have talent enough to think of things. Your pants are beeping. You guys have everything here. You even have beeping pants. Anyway. So, yes, a couple more questions and then we're dancing. Yes.
So once you tell us the part you want us to read, are there going to be other people reading the other parts? Or?
Yeah, you're going to come in 3 at a time. So there will be 3 of you reading the scene at a time. Yes. It says right at the bottom of the first page here, where it says, the jester says, "Alas, madam, the king is mute." That's where the scene is starting, and then you turn the page over, and it continues all the way to where it says "end" after frogs. Okay? Yes. What do you mean? How are you supposed to read it? Well, she's a princess. Right? She's not one of your Disney princesses. She's a princess who grew up swimming moats and in the swamp. Right? So she's not we'll call her classiest of princesses.
She's a tomboy princess.
Okay, maybe that's a good way to say it. Maybe a tomboy princess. But you're going to think up however you think she might sound. However you want to read her. The jester, well, we know a jester is a funny person. Somebody who's supposed to make people laugh. So you're going to decide how you think you might read that line if you're supposed to be a clown, right? What else?
Well, that's not what I meant. Will we just read one line?
Well, you read a part. So if you come in with your group of 3 and I say you're the jester, every time it's a jester line, that's you. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Groups of 3. There will be 3 people reading. You'll get a part to read. Someone else will get another part, and I'm going to be Lady Rowena. Yes?
Can I just? Sorry.
I don't know.
May I have a script?
Yeah, guys, we'll get you packets in just a minute, okay? We'll get you packets in just a minute. Schulze. Shh.
How are the callbacks going to be set up?
How are the callbacks going to be set up? Meaning what?
How are they going?
We'll schedule in times. You'll show up. We'll ask you to do the thing we're asking you to do, and then we'll send you away. I mean, I don't know more than that right now. It depends on how many people are there, but it's not going to be all the callback people are showing up at one time, because that's just a lot of nervousness and a lot of people sitting around when they don't need to. So basically, like if there's a Winifred callback and a Dauntless callback, we'll probably call the 2 of them together, right? And so for that 20-minute time slot, they're going to be reading scenes, singing songs, and we're going to be writing stuff down. Okay? And then you'll go. Oh my God. A couple more. Yes.
Well, what if you get a main part and you for some reason aren't able to do that? If you get
You mean like if you're nervous about it?